everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Abigail, or Abby. I'm 25 and autistic and love talking about autism stuff, so this is where I do that. So I had actually been planning on doing a review of the book All Cats Are on the Autism Spectrum, and I have a script for that pretty much finished, but then last minute changed my mind and decided to talk about what it's like after having a meltdown, because I just had one on Friday and am still recovering, and that's where my brain decided to go. I've seen a lot of people talk about what a meltdown itself is actually like, but I don't think I've ever really seen anyone talk about just how exhausted you can get after, or maybe I've just somehow never come across that, but yeah, that's basically what this is going to be, is talking about that. Luckily, it wasn't a major meltdown, just I got out of the situation before it could escalate more, basically just on the verge of full-on crying in a grocery store and a death grip on the shopping cart. I was with my boyfriend at the time, and he was amazing, very patient and understanding, and got me through the checkout with what we'd already picked up and handled everything, honestly, a lot better than I probably would have had roles been reversed. But yeah, point is, I had a meltdown Friday evening. It could have been a lot worse. That was far from the worst meltdown I've ever had, but that was Friday evening. It is now Sunday evening. It's been nearly a full 48 hours, and I am still exhausted and still recovering from that. I didn't work yesterday or today. I had both days off. Granted, I still did stuff yesterday. There were like 2 or 3 things that I missed getting groceries on Friday, so I did put myself back in a grocery store yesterday for a little while, which, questionable choice, since that environment was the big trigger on Friday, but in and out in like 10 minutes, and I was fine and didn't do a lot after. Didn't have the energy to. That was basically the one thing that I did yesterday, and then there were a few things I had to do today. Not a lot, thankfully, but a couple small chores, because that's life. And I am still exhausted, even though I didn't do a whole lot and tried to take it easy as much as I could. That's actually why I attempted makeup for this. Well, part of why I also just find eyeshadow super fun, but yeah, try to make myself look alive, but still just energy for some eyeshadow and a bit of lipstick, no foundation or contouring or eyeliner or mascara, which I usually do when I put makeup on. So, yeah. Meltdown was, of course, super embarrassing because, 1, that is a super vulnerable position to be in, and 2, I am a full-grown adult, and nearly 4 years after learning I'm autistic, I'm still struggling to let go of some of the high expectations I held for myself for pretty much my entire life. That is a hard habit to break, and it's been a long time since I had a meltdown in public. It's also really scary, especially when it's public. Like, how are the people around me going to react? This is already stressful because of pandemic stuff, and now I'm on the verge of crying. I could feel my jaw clenching. Biting is one of my stims when I get that stressed and anxious, and my lip wasn't cutting it, and there was a mask on my face, so yeah, there was basically no way for me to calm myself through stimming. When we finally got home, I just flopped down on my bed and burrowed under my lovely weighted blanket and listened to music, headphones in, rolled out, and my boyfriend cooked fish for me, so I ate, and then went to bed, and yeah, 48 hours later, I am still feeling drained and exhausted, and I have been engaging in the special interests because those help me to recharge, but yeah, still tired, and it was far from the worst meltdown I've ever had, which I think I've said already, but that's the thing I'm trying to get across. Meltdowns are scary and embarrassing, and they suck so much. It's a trauma response. The person having the meltdown is literally in crisis, and it is just so exhausting. So much built up energy of stress and anxiety and fear, and being overwhelmed just comes out all at once, and then there's basically nothing left afterwards. I consider myself really fortunate that I'm in a place where I have a good support system. I can trust and rely on the people around me, because it really could have been a lot worse. But even without it being worse, it's still extremely draining because again, there's basically nothing left afterwards. It's not just meltdown and then back to life. Yes, life goes on. There's no avoiding that, unfortunately. But trying to go on with that while trying to recover from a meltdown at the same time takes a lot. I'm really, really glad that I already had yesterday and today off work, because I don't know that I would have been able to handle that. It could have led to another meltdown, and meltdown at work is kind of my worst fear, so hopefully we never find out. Not an experiment I want to try. So, yeah, still tired, still recovering, gonna go watch a musical because the special interests, the special interests make me feel better. Don't really know how to end this one, so hopefully my points were clear. Kinda asked my roommate for a bit of help in wording, but because I'm still tired, I'm not sure I fully understood her suggestions, but I tried to incorporate them. I hope that I got it right. I am also sorry that my phone was vibrating throughout this. I would try and do this again, but I don't have the energy to, so hopefully that wasn't too distracting with the vibrating noise. My apologies. Anyway, the book review that I had been planning for today will definitely be the next video. I am excited for that one. Thank you all for watching and for putting up with my vibrating phone throughout. It is my camera, and it was vibrating, unfortunately. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you again in the next one, where I will hopefully be feeling better. Bye.